Hello and welcome to White Glove Reviews. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be tackling logs, and I'm going to be seeing if I can get the CHIMPS completion to get another black frame around my, the logs map. Now, logs, and really any map that has water, a lot of times when you're doing CHIMPS, it's actually very helpful to start with a sub. You can start with a sub, and you can start with your dart monkey, and you usually want to set the one, I think, closer to the entrance to strong. Now the sub is kind of a bargain for the cost, and in doing these CHIMPS maps and in trying to, get achievements and get the black frames and whatnot, I've noticed a lot of times it's like the part of CHIMPS that's going to get you is the very beginning. And then there's oftentimes there's a random spot in the middle depending upon the map. And then I've had a number of them where it's like round 98 randomly gets me for some reason. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let these run for a while. And then I think I want to try and get Etienne as quick as possible, so he can start leveling up and get the camo detection for everyone. I think it's level 8. And then, go on from there. Having water on this map, it also makes it possible to get an aircraft carrier, or to get the carrier flagship, I think is what it's called, the level 5 one. And also the Necromancer, the tier 5 Necromancer Wizard. Those two are both really, really good for CHIMPS if you can get them relatively quickly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fast forward for a bit, and as you can see, I put Etienne out, and then we'll see how things go as we're fast forwarding. Alright, what I've done here is I put out a wizard, and my plan is, as we're going through, I'm going to upgrade the wizard first. I think what I want to do is I want to get to the tier 5 Necromancer. And so it's going to be I think a 025 Necromancer. It's going to be the first thing I'm going to work toward. In a minute, though, I'm also going to put out a Spike Factory just to have a little bit of backup, just in case. A lot of times, and you'll see a lot of people talk about putting out like a 025 Spike Factory as you get farther along in CHIMPS. And really the main reason for that is just to sort of give you kind of a safety net, because you don't want to run through, and as you can see, we're about to hit level 40. You don't want to run through around 40. You don't want to run through and have your run ruined by like something random slipping through. Now, as you can see, this is just the tier 4 Necromancer, and it does a pretty good job on the Moab. I mean, as you can see right there, it does a decent job just chewing up all those balloons. The Necromancer is really good. And so what we have here is we're just going to keep running and work toward getting an upgrade. And as you can see, I put out the Spike Factory. I put out the Spike Factory, like I said, just as a precaution, just in case. You don't want something to slip through and get you and mess up your run. So we're going to save up money for a while and then work toward getting the tier 5 Necromancer. And actually, the tier 5 Necromancer is pretty affordable, and we can get it relatively quickly. I mean, the money's coming in relatively quickly. And with the sub and the Necromancer and our Dart Monkey and Etienne giving them camo detection, it really does go a long way. And as you can see, we just got the Necromancer final upgrade. And the Necromancer does a decent job defending against just for a while. And we have round 60 coming up, and you'll be able to see how the Necromancer handles that. And yeah, I mean, like, look, it chews through it pretty quickly. Okay, now let's fast forward for a bit, and we'll see how things go. Now, what I'm gonna do, and I'm kind of debating about the order of it. Logs is really, I debated about the order of it. Logs is really, it's a pretty easy map, and it's one that you can really kind of sort of just play on a little bit. So what I did is I waited and I built up money, and I'm going to upgrade my spike factor to a 0.25 permaspike. And that way, with permaspike out, what you can do is you kind of have a nice buffer where you don't really have to worry too much about things slipping by, and the necromancer can handle so much stuff as it goes through. Like, as you can see, I mean, like, the necromancer really isn't having a lot of difficulty with much so far, and the dart monkey helps a little bit. I mean, like, he's kind of just providing a little extra damage, but really the one doing all the work is the necromancer. And I guess, I mean, the sub helps some too. The sub's been upgraded a little bit, but not a lot. Now, as we're moving forward, we can do some more upgrades just to, you know, increase the damage output. So what we can do is, like, as you can see up there, I've upgraded the dart monkey to a 0.25 crossbow master, and I've put an alchemist there to buff them, and I added a couple more subs. The next thing I'm going to do, or the last thing I'm going to do really, is I'm going to upgrade that monkey buccaneer to a carrier flagship. And as you can see, the setup isn't really having a lot of difficulty dealing with everything that's going through. Logs is really very forgiving because you have a lot of cross paths, and it lets you kind of take your time. And as you can see, the setup handled that wave of DDTs with no problem. And yeah, there you go with the carrier flagship. It's doing a decent amount of damage. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get through round 98 and then 99. Like, as you can see just then, the spike factory had only popped like 15 balloons, practically none. Now we just got to get through the bad, and then this will finish up this run. So the bad takes a bunch of punishment. So the carrier flagship does actually help out there with some of the damage, and, you know, it makes it go a little bit faster. But we know from previous rounds that the contents of the bad aren't going to be any kind of issue, as you just saw there. The DDTs were gone quick, and then the insides are really not much at all. And we managed to get a super unexciting monkey sub. And anyway, if you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments, and I'll show you right now. As you can see, once you finish the run, there's logs with a black frame and the badge for chimps. Anyway, if you have any questions, just let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope you all have an excellent day.